Well, welcome to Noel's World of Whiskey. Usually when you see me dressed up like this, it's a sign of it being a little bit cold, but I just got down from the mountain. I was up skiing. So, and I have to get a review done, or at least open this bottle here, because if you saw my last review on the Kilchoman 13-year-old, I mentioned that I was doing a trade with Al, and part of that trade was for me to give him some of the 13 as well as this other whiskey, which I'm going to show you here, and that is the Loch Gorm 10-year-old. This is the first of the age statements on the Loch Gorm, which is one of their core releases. So, and I did promise Al that I've already given him some of the 13, and I promised him I would also give him some of the Loch Gorm 10. And what did I get in return? Well, as I mentioned in the previous video, we were going to get from Al a sample of the 16-year-old. Now, he's going to get twice as much as this, but I know what this stuff is worth. And now, he might have paid $300 plus, but I know for me to get this stuff right now, it's $350 plus. So I'm not going to be buying a $350 16-year-old. Something interesting here is the water source really actually comes from Loch Gorm. Loch Gorm is actually the largest freshwater lake on Islay, and it's also well known for fly fishing. They've had tournaments there, etc. It's got quite a peaty color, I think, the lake there. So, but its source is a tributary from the Loch Gorm, and it's called Alt Glen Osmau, and it's the burn. So that, and I'm probably not pronouncing it right, so I could probably have looked up that pronunciation before I was doing this video and got it right. But anyways, its location is north of the distillery on the Rockside Farm, which of course they own. I will get this darn guy open here so we can take a look at it. And let's bring the bottle up first and show you the bottle. So there you are, the 2025 Loch Gorm 10-year-old. So let's get this guy open, and we'll open it the intelligent way, and we'll peel the label here. And every once in a while it works. Well, I think it's time to give it the pop. So I'm ready. If you're ready. Not loud, but it was a pop. And we'll bring it up and let you take a look at it. Yeah, I don't know. I find it's a relatively, it's not super dark, and it doesn't have that sherry bomb color. So we're going to get right into the nose. Right off the bat, it's not the 50 ppm that I would have expected, but I've noticed some of the Kilchomans there with the nose. I don't get super intense smoke, but I like it. It's got the beach fire. Maybe we've got something roasting on a beach fire. I would say it might be more like kippers. A little bit of lemon chicken, maybe. We are getting some umami notes here. So, rubber boots. But there is a pepper. The smoke is a bit on the peppery side there. So anyways, that's good enough for the nose. Well, let's do the palate. Cilantro. The nose doesn't hit the 50 ppm, but I'm going to say it probably is more noticeable on the palate. The initial taste there was pretty peaty, but I'm going to stick with the beach fire, the sooty, kind of a sootiness to it. And I'm going to leave the fish now and go back to, I'm going to say, we talked lemon. There's definitely some lemon stuff going on here. But there's also some sweet, almost like a barbecue sauce on, I like to use pork chops, or, you know, you put something on a grill and you've got that barbecue, but you've got a smoky barbecue. You know, whether it's a burger or whatever, it's that smoky barbecue sauce. And it is coating. It's oily, but not a real heavy body. Like I would say the 13 might have had a little heavier body than this, but this is 46. The 13 was 50, I believe. So there's maybe some butter tarts, behind that smoke. Definitely some butter tarts, a little bit of banana, and still a little bit of the peppery nutmeg, maybe some cloves. This sweetness is coming on more now as we're getting toward the end of the, I'm going to say what was there is slowly fading, but the sweetness seems to stay. So as the smoke is fading, I still have the sweetness. So I am going to go for the development and the finish. Salangeva. It's definitely a likable drink. Not overpowering. I am not getting that heavy hit of smoke I got initially. Still, I'll stick with the beach fire. A little bit of rubber. I'm getting definitely still that sweet stuff. I'm going to stay with the smoky barbecue sauce. There might be some pastry stuff going on here. Maybe apple fritters. We've got, it's just that sweetness. It's not cloying sweet, but there is sweetness. And I guess a little bit of coffee, with maybe a bit of mocha, coffee, mocha. Again, a bit of honey mixed in with that, and slight tobacco note to it. It's interesting. The finish is not super long. There's, I'm going to say medium to short finish on this here. So, but I think we're going to have to add a few drops of water. Okay, Loch Gorm 10 with water. And I'm going to give it just a wee bit of nose there first, see what the water does with the nose. Not as much of the smoke now, but definitely lots of sweet stuff going on here. A little lemon meringue pie. Anyways, the palate with water. Salangeva. Not a lot has changed here, other than we've heightened or amplified the sweetness of it. But there is still a bit of a tobacco note. It's almost like a amaretto coffee. You get that sweetened coffee with a bit of honey in it. I really... my mouth is salivating here. The biggest thing I'm noticing here is I really like this stuff, but and right now it's still there. but I know it's going to disappear. So it's a shame because it's a really nice dram. Maybe if it was a little heavier, maybe a 50%, we might be able to stretch it out a little farther. I mean, I'm not going to criticize it. So how am I going to score this guy? The Loch Gorm, being a core statement, is been a decent way. I've always liked the Loch Gorm. You know, you look at the Snag, you look at it's kind of not quite here in terms of, because it is a mix of bourbon and sherry, where this is straight sherry, but still a really good whiskey. I've always liked the Snag. Macro Bay, really showing the distillery character, but this is the first age statement. And maybe that's what we're seeing is it you know, there's a bit more maturity. It does not have a long finish, but I think that was a characteristic of the Loch Gorms I've had. I don't remember any of them having a long finish. In terms of value for your money, so we're up 150-ish. I think that's what I paid for it. For a 10-year-old, that's a lot to pay. And I paid a little more for the, not a lot more for the 13-year-old. So that's going to be your decision whether that makes sense or not, be paying $150, you know, I'm talking Canadian. I don't know what it's going to be priced at in your area, but, and I really applaud, you know, Anthony Wills for, let's get some age statements out now, because I have kind of ignored this distillery through the years and not paid enough attention to it, and I'm paying a lot more attention in the last few years to what they're putting out, and I'm enjoying their whiskeys. But now I'm getting a chance to sample some of their aged whiskeys, and of course, really looking forward to this guy here, the 16-year-old. So I'm going to say this is going to be in the 85-ish area. Looking at the value for your money, I'm not even going to, it's hard for me to price it right there. I went out and bought this and I had no problem paying that, so I'm going to stay with the 85 score. It is a dram that I could just keep drinking all night, but I know better. It just goes down so darn easy. And so I'm going to leave that one with you. On that note, I'm going to ask you to drink wisely, drink intelligently, and do not drink and drive. Until the next time, so long, Angela.